Let's see. Oh, his TV is just that loud. Yeah, it's really loud. Oh well. Screw it. Okay, that'll fix that problem. Unfortunately, the game window is just beyond screwed. I'm seeing why. Nope. I'm feeling it won't capture correctly. We'll see. We'll see here. Nope. Yeah, I really don't want to capture it. What is even the name of this window? Who knows? That's the name of the window. I mean, you'd think it's this one. But it's not. It's not at all. Maybe this doesn't work. It's definitely not capturing the game window. Or it's just screwing up because there's two with exactly the same name. Concern froze. Maybe we can't do this. Oh, you know what it might be? Is that it's running off the wrong graphics card. Let's see if we can address that. How would I even do that? We tested this and everything. Show me the installation folder. Shut up. What's funny is it got the initial screen. That's the thing that's quite interesting. That sure as heck ain't it. Hey, we did it. We did it, friends. Nope, don't want to do that. You know what we aren't doing right now? Practicing Zelda. So who would want such a thing? I think we need to turn song request on. Let's turn song request on. Let's do the thing. Last time I tried to load this, it didn't work. Let's try it. Looks like it's still failing. Yo, Biba. No, I mean I could be. Don't even start, Ridley. Things I had to do today. No. Nope. But I could have sworn I saved this with having all my money already spent. Well, good. Don't. I was gonna start thinking about starting Ultima, but I might need Yogi's guidance about something before I start, because I know not to look at the hint book. However, I don't know what the manual says about anything, so I don't want to open up the manual and have it show me maps that are also hints. So we made it home not too long ago, and then this happened. It's just us. So we could in this mission. What is even our objective in this mission? Oh no, the window's frozen for you guys. Oh dear. Oh wait, no. You just can't see that. Okay, cool. The pop-up window. So this game is just going to be a real bitch to do anything. So I'm not reading the entire mission, but basically it's 1940. And we're in Belgian and Dutch territory, and we're trying to invade it and remove their fortifications. We get a decisive victory. We capture all the objectives. Objectives are they're flagged areas that have a gold border around them. So like my little airfield there is not an objective. But it's still an airfield. Capturing 3 objectives is enough to get a marginal victory and not lose. And this is the deployment phase, so I'm looking at the map, figuring out what I want to do. Lit up areas, we've broken the fog of war. These little bunker things, little huts, these are all fortifications. You usually need kind of a special attack to take care of those. And these circles are the victory, well, they're cities, or basically points that are worth prestige if you capture them. And cities have special defense bonuses and losses, because like tanks defend very poorly in cities. But just this one, and this one. There's only a handful of actual objectives. We only hold 1 objective at the start, and there's 4 we have to get. You can actually zoom out enough that we can kind of just see the whole map. Like this one. This one's Netherlands, Belgium. Fortifications kind of suck. These are enemy fortifications. That's even worse. Why am I allowed to deploy here? That seems bad. Although these guys have no supply. Do you see that? This red, they don't have any supply. So that's kind of nice. It's really weird. I guess we get a free airdrop or something. Apparently do. Guys hit plus attack. Attack plus 3. You go down right there. And I should have an anti-tank right here. Oh, I can even put a plane there. That's disgusting. So most units start with 10 health. They don't have to, but that's kind of like the standard that like if you buy a new unit, you get 10 of them. You can always replenish them. In deployment, it's way cheaper. You really don't want to in the field have to replace them. Regular replacements are like replacing it with green guys that have no experience, so it averages out the percentage of new guys since they have no experience. You can just pay a ton more money. You'll get what's called elite replacements. So you get to keep the experience level. So You can't take too many losses. Okay, I gotta think here. So we need to take down these. So we're gonna need this. We get a lot of units in this too. I guess besides those couple units, though, we really don't have quite a lot. These are artillery. I'm gonna need a fighter, I'm sure. These bigger planes are level bombers. Or strategic bombers, which basically means they damage supplies and make it difficult for stuff to operate. As opposed to tactical bombers that do damage. So what you get out of these level bombers is suppression, which basically means the next time that there's a melee fight, you'll see that basically the strength numbers are going to turn yellow and then red, which basically means the next time that thing is in melee combat on the same turn, each individual strength unit basically gets a roll to shoot. So if they're all suppressed, none of them can attack. And that's really critical, because there's some combats where they're going to be very, very dangerous for both sides. We don't have a lot of units left. What else do I need to print? They gave us recon vehicles, so I'm kind of cool with that. May just need tanks. Let's just use this. We won't even bring in tanks. I think the anti-tanks are probably fine. And we also save a lot, because we do. It's a really weird mission. Like, why do I have units here? We can absolutely obliterate. I mean, this is just flat out destroyed. That's why we brought that. This guy's gonna do the same world of hurt. So now, if you can, so you'll have to resupply units in missions. Basically, the way that works is if you're next to people, you don't get full supply. So that's sort of the trick here. This is a unit. Is there somewhere else I want to land these guys? Do I care? So the units that are these gray ones that came with the mission, I don't get to keep those. So they're basically expendable as far as the rules go. Like, this guy is just here to, kind of here to just tell me what I'm looking at. We're gonna kind of want to move him here though. Spotting here. Some of the unit stats. So they have the binoculars. Spotting is 2. You can't actually see. Do I just throw this guy here? Yeah, level bombers actually. These tactical. Strategic bombers fly very high in the sky, so they don't actually get a very good view of the ground. Kind of important to throw that out there. Kind of more interested in what the hell's over here. There's got to be stuff on this line, right? This guy is gonna lose like 8 losses. A very large number. So you'll notice here, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a 4-4 on the right hand side. And that means that entire unit is suppressed. This is the first mission in this second campaign, so they raised the experience cap limit. It's actually really funny is these infantry that end up in these. So I bought the upgraded you can buy. For infantry, you can purchase this thing, this mech truck or whatever you want to call it, and they can actually attack from it. Now their attack is terrible, but when the other enemy can't shoot back, it's free. It's actually free. Oh, what a miss. I can't really see what's here. That's sort of an issue. We just do this. Bring this down. Probably move him. I don't really want to, but the real question is there any use to pushing through on this front here? Because we can probably just blast our way through the middle and just say to hell with these guys, right? There's not even a victory hex here. Question is, I mean, there's two roads here in the bridge. Like, none of these tracked things can get through. Yeah, we should almost just focus exclusively on this other region. And hopefully we don't just get inundated with a ton of ranged stuff. Do we leave troops behind? I suppose we can see what happens. What else do we have left to move? Oh yeah, there's paratroopers. Where do we want to land these guys? Do we land them behind? So if there's three guys that are within one tile of an enemy unit, that enemy unit cannot resupply at all. Hopefully we don't lose here. Yikes. So notice they actually were able to supply, but not a lot. We can still counteract this. This is the fortification I'm most scared of because he had a huge bonus. So aircraft automatically get refueled and resupplied if they're within one tile of an owned airbase. Airfield. So we're definitely going to throw another strategic on this guy because he's going to be out of ammunition. Okay, he's not out of ammunition. He will be. So notice I let this guy take the brunt of it. Now this guy's just going to destroy that. He might even surrender. Not surrender. So you get an attack and a move. We have to get a level bomber on that. I'm calling these strategic guys level bombers. almost don't mind taking damage. But we can probably do better. This guy? No, he's just gonna suck. This is just a fighter, but right now he doesn't have any air units to deal with, so we just do this. Oh, we took one back. Oh well. So throw in the artillery fire first. And unfortunately, so one of the side effects of the so here we get some spotting. I'm gonna actually try to hit him again. So recons are allowed to move more than once, but they lose some of their movement points each time that you like get some spotting. Like they're basically supposed to move incrementally. That's sort of their little shtick. River tiles are dangerous. You basically lose all of your defense and offense on them. Do we have enough artillery? No, we do not. What we can actually do here is leave this recon, bring my real units up. Recons are really good. How many units can I actually... I get 2 units against that. Yeah, we need that. Notice it's yellow, it only has 4 suppression. Definitely. I know these guys will survive being on the... They actually have exactly the same stats. That's amazing. And he managed to do no damage. That's a real bummer. It's okay though. A lot of this is just getting units into position at the start of this one. I almost just want to get him off of the... I don't want to fight that. That's a bad fight. I'd almost rather do that. I actually could just move this guy in, just blow it up. Look at all the damage that he did to my plane. That's enough damage to go for replacements. Yeah, maybe at the end of the mission. So if you have artillery next to a unit that gets attacked, you can, the artillery will fire in defense. But even if like the artillery, like if I put this air unit here, this artillery won't fire to protect him even though he shoots 3 squares away. You have to actually be adjacent. Same rules for this guy can switch modes. You can be anti-tank and aircraft. Anti-aircraft. Not all of the anti-airs can do that. This one's extremely expensive. But you'll notice he has an 18 air attack, and in his alternate mode, he has a 17 for heart attack, which heart attack is basically anything not infantry, like things that are armored. I kind of want to just throw him here, because he can just destroy these fortifications. But if he has to go into his truck, so he might just stay put this turn. Not necessarily bad that he's just watching over my more vulnerable units. Alright, there's the aircraft we've been waiting to see. I'm kind of surprised. So the enemy is buying units and deploying them. And sometimes they build a whole bunch of scripted units and they'll come in from one side with some historical context that I don't know what it is. This guy's... This fighter's pretty good. Fighters, usually the aggressor has a pretty decent bonus. Usually. Oh, wow. He's having no luck, man. You saw that, so that the numbers that you see, the -0 and the -4, is the prediction of the, like, it rolls the combat a few times and just gives you an estimate of what it would look like. Like, here's how complicated this game is. Which you can't see the pop-up window! Oh, baby. Oh, well. There's a pop-up window that basically goes through initiative, defensive scores, attacking scores, and then it shows you the roll percentages. Along with the modifiers based on terrain, experience, and what they're fighting up against. If you think of Advanced Wars, that actually pays a lot more attention to the tactics. Advanced Wars is fun and all, though. Just there's... This guy still can't, he still can't do anything. We're gonna destroy this, because we can. This guy's just terrible anyways. Wow, the city isn't even... We have to somehow break into this. What I'm thinking about doing is we destroy this, and we just move everyone across, and then down and up. That's sort of my grand plan here. So these guys only have 4 shots. That's sort of the penalty for having such a mobile guy. These like the last time I played through a campaign in one of the games like this, the original Panzer General, I had a very tank heavy and aircraft heavy, and I ran into these situations that you just seem to need increasing stupid amounts of aircraft to deal with the fact that the other guy has aircraft. Probably just need to level down this. Just get rid of all of these. Wow, you only got one. A whole one. Let's see if we can get this guy down a little bit. 3 suppressed. There are anti-airs that can actually move and react just like the way artillery does. But they just, at this point in the war, they're just not that good, so at least the stats that they gave them to reflect how good they are. I can't believe those guys have evaded so much. Crazy. Just grab this. So every time we pick up a small victory thing, we pick up 50 prestige points. You can't see it, but like a brand new tactical bomber costs 372. You'll notice, like, just to replace one strength unit is 24 bucks on this guy, and if you were just to replace the one without experience, it costs way less, but you lose a lot of, like, 17 is like 1 combat's worth of experience. Since we just got our cap increased, I kind of want to make sure the next mission I have way more experienced dudes. So we're going to attack here. These guys are really fortified, so they have an entrenchment level, which is currently 3. Every time you attack, the entrenchment level goes down 1, and every turn the entrenchment level goes up 1. Well, usually 1. It depends on, like, tanks can't entrench at the same rate that infantry can. I'm gonna nab this too. This guy can't even. I might as well just take over the island here. So one thing that defenders can do when they're heavily entrenched is get what's called a rugged defense. And you'll notice this is regular infantry. These guys, actually these are regular infantry too. That must be the problem. Hold on, I say regular, they're alpine. They're meant for going through the mountains. Here you go. So this is a pioneer. They're a military engineer, which basically means that they ignore the entrenchment levels of a defender. But because they have that wonderful ability, they also have a problem, and the problem is that they aren't very good at, they're not very mobile. I really want to attack, but I have a feeling I'm going to get rugged defensed, and it's going to be a bad time. Can't even see behind the mountain. That's right. Not a tactical bomber. Yeah, we'll let this sit. I think that's all the movement I care about. The nice thing with our fighter doing that little bit of damage is that those planes cost a lot to repair, and the AI will go back to repair. So we're playing on a harder difficulty mode, and the major difference is the AI has the highest level of difficulty, and the AI also gets 50% more prestige. So in every mission, if you can just play the scenarios by themselves without a campaign. There's basically a set amount of money and units that are deployed at the start of the game. So like you might start with $1,500 and like a whole bunch of units if you're on the defense, a whole bunch of units that are reasonable already deployed in various locations. And with relative experience, stuff like that. So the AI is spending their additional money as the scenario goes on to purchase and place units. So depending on, like I think that they will buy a bunch of anti-air if you have a ton of planes and stuff like that, so there's no like, I'm sure there's cheese scratch, but like, the AI is decent. And giving them a money advantage means you have to be pretty efficient with what you're doing. It'd be super nice if I could actually... This entrenchment needs to stop. It's 6 entrenched. Nice. Well, we could have had up to 5 damage there or so. Didn't quite get there. You don't want to run into enemies that are in the fog. They'll get an ambush attack, and it's pretty devastating. Pretty devastating. We could just do this. Gotta switch modes first. Apply here pretty strongly, because he's not really going to have any support until the next round. I almost want replacements on him. Let's have them split up. That's the other problem with the stupid aircraft at the start, is the reason I went to tactical bombers or strategic bombers is because the other guys, the ones that just do damage and the ones that shoot down other planes are just terrible. They have like no fuel. It's like you go attack one thing and then you gotta fly home. This one's better, but he's like a little bit of a special unit. What do we got here? I'll probably wrap up this mission and call it a stream. Just wanted to see if I get this to work. I figured it might be a little bit temperamental, and it was, but it worked out. Notice so our anti-aircraft was in with range there, so it fired. No, it actually didn't. Excuse me. That was the infantry fighting tank. But those guys are pretty screwed. Like they're actually pretty screwed. Like, this is 4. These anti-air are basically like he just literally shot that down by himself, just about. Very big damage. And that was part of why I used them, is because they're way better than the other anti-air. There's some big losses. Wow, they aren't even defending the airfield. It's probably just the way the mission's set up. Oh, I love this song. A good one. Maybe we'll just call it there. I want to go watch this episode. So you get, as they get a lot of experience, I guess, it's not, 400 is not necessarily the reason why. This guy, he was actually a special unit. We're gonna resupply anyone we can, and probably be back later, but if not, have a good night. I'm gonna save here and just take a break. So I was messing around, seeing if this would work.